Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Jonathan Rone mistaken for huge celebrity. The Golden Bachelorette alum Jonathan Rone shared how he was mistaken for a huge celebrity. Jonathan is famous in his own right, but who was he confused for, and was it accurate? Keep reading for further details on what happened. Jonathan Rone mistaken for huge celebrity. Fans loved Jonathan Rone when he was vying for Joan Vasso's heart on The Golden Bachelorette. The father of two was charming, kind, handsome, and very open. Joan appreciated him, but sadly, she sent him packing. This was not a bad thing, as viewers hoped he could be the next Golden Bachelor. However, dreams were dashed when he revealed he had found love with Michelle Zimmerman, and they began adventuring. They donated blood for the holidays and loved the outdoors. As long as he was happy, so were fans, but recently, he shared that he was single. This gave a renewed hope that he could be the next Golden Bachelor lead again. Many fans wanted to let Jonathan know that he was beloved and would eventually find the right person. They also sent messages of hope that he would be the Golden Bachelor. Look no further, handsome, the right one will find you. Are you the new Golden Bachelor? I think you are. You will find your happily ever after, my favorite Golden Bachelor. You're an amazing man, and she is out there. He had met Michelle when he left Joan and the mansion, deciding to go online and see what was out there. Jonathan got very lucky and saw that he could be happy again. Now, he is sharing how he was confused for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson when walking through New York City. He went out to pose with the woman who mistook him and admitted he was very flattered by this. Jonathan Rone also posed the question if his followers had ever been confused for a celebrity, and, if so, who. Immediately, his comment section was flooded, and they had a lot of insight. An interesting attempt. After Jonathan Rone shared his interesting New York City interaction, people joked that the lady was shooting her shot with him. More so, they wanted to know what was happening with him in his life, while reminding him that he was famous as well. She was shooting her shot. I would too. Jonathan, you should be the next GB. You are deaf in your element, modeling, or just being the good guy. Your smile tells all. You are a superstar on your own. You're a celebrity too. All of these compliments were extremely sweet and welcoming. It is obvious that his following either want to date him or for him to find love. Some mentioned they were single and could make him very happy. Jonathan Rone had always considered himself a fairly average guy. He had a decent job, a comfortable apartment, and a circle of friends who occasionally poked fun at his resemblance to a certain Hollywood megastar. But he never paid much attention to it. That all changed on one fateful evening when he walked into a swanky Los Angeles restaurant, and his life turned into a whirlwind of mistaken identity. It started the moment he stepped out of his car. A valet, eyes wide with recognition, nearly dropped the keys he was holding. "Oh my God, Mr. Rone. Sir. Welcome back." The young man stumbled over his words, looking flustered as he rushed to open the restaurant door. Jonathan chuckled, assuming the kid had mistaken him for a regular customer. The real chaos began inside. A chorus of gasps and murmurs rippled through the dimly lit dining area as heads turned in his direction. A couple at a nearby table openly gawked, whispering excitedly. Jonathan frowned. This wasn't normal. He'd been to fancy places before, but he'd never been the center of attention. Then a woman in a glittering dress practically lunged at him, phone in hand. "I love your movies. Could I get a picture? Please," she gushed, her voice trembling with excitement. Jonathan blinked. I think you have the wrong." Before he could finish, a waiter appeared out of nowhere. "Mr. Rone, your usual table is ready. Right this way." Jonathan hesitated. He had no usual table. He had never been here before. But something strange was happening, and his curiosity got the better of him. Maybe if he played along, he could figure out who they thought he was. So with an awkward nod, he followed the waiter. all while dodging eager hands holding out napkins for autographs. The moment he sat down, a stylish man in a tailored suit swooped in. "Jonathan, buddy, didn't know you were back in town." The man clapped him on the back like an old friend. Jonathan racked his brain. Who was this guy? He looked vaguely familiar, maybe from a magazine cover or a gossip site. "Yeah, well, surprise," he said, hoping to keep the charade going. The man laughed heartily. "Classic. Keeping it mysterious. That's why the fans love you, man. So tell me, are the rumors true? Are you and Serena getting back together?" Jonathan's brain short-circuited. "Serena?" The man's grin widened. "Oh, you sly dog. Keeping it under wraps, huh? Well, the Paps are gonna have a field day with this one. You should see the headlines already. Jonathan Rone spotted in Lay. Secret romance brewing. It writes itself." Jonathan was about to correct him when the waiter returned with an extravagant bottle of champagne. "On the house," he said with a wink. "It's an honor to serve you." Jonathan gulped. He had to put a stop to this. "Look, I think there's been a mistake." But before he could finish, a group of fans swarmed the table, cameras flashing. "Jonathan, can you say something about the new movie? Is it true you're doing your own stunts again?" Jonathan felt his heart race. Who exactly did they think he was? He turned to the stylish man for help, but the guy just smirked. "You really are committed to this bit, huh?" he said, sipping his champagne. Jonathan sighed. "All right, listen. I am not who you think I am. I am not." Just then, the restaurant doors swung open, and in walked him. Or at least, the man who looked exactly like him. Gasps echoed through the room. Jonathan's doppelganger, the real celebrity, had arrived, and he did not look amused. "What the hell is going on?" the star demanded, glancing between Jonathan and the stunned onlookers. Jonathan froze. The resemblance was uncanny. It was no wonder people had mistaken him. The jawline, the haircut, even the way they both held themselves. It was like looking in a mirror. But while Jonathan was dressed in jeans and a casual button-up, the celebrity radiated pure Hollywood swagger. A reporter, seemingly appearing out of nowhere, shoved a microphone in Jonathan's face. "Jonathan Rone, what do you have to say about this insane coincidence? Could you be long-lost twins?" Jonathan let out a nervous laugh. "Oh, well, that would explain a lot." The real star, still frowning, suddenly burst out laughing. "Dude, this is insane. You actually look like me." Jonathan shrugged. "Yeah, I get that a lot." The celebrity's eyes gleamed with mischief. "You ever thought about working in Hollywood? You could be my stunt double. Or better yet, imagine the pranks we could pull." Jonathan chuckled. "I think I've had enough mistaken identity for one night." The two men shook hands as the cameras clicked, capturing a moment that would soon be plastered all over the internet. And as Jonathan finally slipped out of the restaurant, he couldn't help but grin. For one night, he had lived the life of a celebrity, and while it was exhausting, it was definitely a story he'd be telling for years to come. Jonathan shrugged. "Yeah, I get that a lot." The celebrity's eyes gleamed with mischief. "You ever thought about working in Hollywood? You could be my stunt double. Or better yet, imagine the pranks we could pull." Jonathan chuckled. "I think I've had enough mistaken identity for one night." The two men shook hands as the cameras clicked, capturing a moment that would soon be plastered all over the internet. And as Jonathan finally slipped out of the restaurant, he couldn't help but grin. For one night, he had lived the life of a celebrity, and while it was exhausting, it was definitely a story he'd be telling for years to come.